Good morning. It's been a while since I've done a rant here on Facebook Live, but I think with all the issues that are coming to light down here in Las Vegas, Nevada, in our federal court system, and just across the board, I'm thinking maybe I have enough in here to bring to light a lot of things for people that don't know who I am. My name's Jamey Landin. I am a Burns, Oregon native, a Harney County native, and it's hard for me to explain why and how I got into what we do, but I'll try to enlighten some people. Back during the occupation in Harney County at the Malheur County Resource Center, or at the Malheur County Resource Center, the bird sanctuary there in Burns, Oregon, when Ammon and our patriots made a hard stand at the Malheur Bird Refuge down by the Narrows, and I don't expect you to understand that, but any Burns, Oregon native knows where the Narrows is. I worked at the gas station, the only gas station that's open 24 hours in Burns, and what I saw in Burns, Oregon really opened my eyes and just completely just blew my mind. We all knew that there's issues with our federal government. No organization is perfect. Nothing's, but to the extent of the corruption in our federal system just blew my mind. And then on top of that, the militarized zone that was Harney County blew my mind. And then watching TV and watching the news and seeing exactly what was happening out my front door, it was a completely opposite, completely different than what the mainstream media was portraying on national television. And the world, they were telling the world that this is what's happening. But it was false. Completely and totally false. The narrative they spun was that armed militants had taken over a federal facility, and these are dangerous men. These are domestic terrorists that have come and terrorized a small community in Eastern Oregon, and Harney County is just terrorized by these individuals, which was false, completely and totally false. The entity that had come and overrun the town was the federal government. We're talking 600 soldiers, 200 deputized law enforcement to basically take over the job of the sheriff department in Harney County, because the sheriff had more important things to do than protect his community. He had to basically cow down and bend to the will of the federal government and do whatever the federal government did instead of doing his job. And to watch a man that I used to respect just basically fold to the federal government and not protect the people not protect the people that he took an oath to protect is sickening, and he should resign right now. So what happened was, after the murder, the execution of a good man on the side of the road, I quit my job and went up with a small handful of individuals that believe that still believe in what Lavoie died for. We went out and we guarded his memorial, which was another eye-opener. And you're going to hear an eye-opener a lot in this little rant that I'm doing right now. So up there, we got to see our elected officials, our sheriffs and our state police, just act like an armed bully. They were all armed bullies threatening our lives. We had a SWAT team of 16 soldiers come out and and they were going to either kill us or remove us from the memorial because of the 14-day limit on BLM on groomed campsites. We were there for 13 days. On the 13th day, they send up 4 SUVs with 4 individuals per SUV armed to the teeth, semi-automatic, sidearms, the whole 9 yards, to remove us from camping and guarding the memorial. But we had a little bird tell us that they were doing this the night before, so we moved across the street to an unkempt campground where we had 30 days. And we watched them fly in there and all, a platoon of soldiers pile out of this. So, it was amazing. It was an eye-opener. Again, an eye-opener. And then to watch them destroy the memorial multiple times over. And within 10-15 minutes, there was another one there. I chiseled a rock that I had found not 20 feet from the spot that Lavoie was murdered, because the continuous attack on him, because they say that the American flag on the side of the road was trash, it was litter, and they handed out littering tickets to members of my community. So after a couple months of doing that, and I won't get into what happened and why I left, because I'm not into smearing another individual's name. But things went south. The memorial was taken down. So from there, I went to Joe Robertson's in Montana, in Basin, Montana. And so I got to witness another account of the federal government just doing whatever they want to, and making up reasons to destroy Americans' lives. Joe Robertson was arrested and imprisoned for 18 months for building a stock pond on his own property that was designed, and by the way, he had a permit to do so. So, and this stock pond was designed, him and his wife, Carrie, they were woodland firefighters, and they had 2 fire trucks that they had bought. One they had donated to the town of Basin because Basin didn't have a fire truck. No way to combat any wildfires, any forest fires, any brush fires. They didn't have the means because the county, for some reason, just didn't feel that their community was sufficient to and meant enough to actually come and give their community the means to survive. So what they did was they donated one of their tanker trucks, their water tanker trucks, to the community. And then up on the hill, they realized that they didn't have anywhere to fill the truck in case of a fire. And the country up there is beautiful. It's on the side of a mountain. And so what they did was they went and purchased a permit to build a stock pond. And mind you, they didn't just dig out and create a stock pond. Half the pond was already there. They just dug it deeper and moved the dirt to the berms, because of 100 years ago, the mining community that's where they dumped all their sediment and everything. So they were just adding on to what was already there. So, I got to witness the federal government go try to sabotage and this is the EPA. Okay. So it's not just the BLM. It's not just the Forest Service. It's not just, it's pretty much every single one of the alphabet corporations for the federal government. So, we were there to stand with Joe Robertson. We told him not to comply, do not comply. But because Joe Robertson is the individual that he is, and he cares about his neighbor, he complied. We don't agree with that, because he had done nothing wrong. He was a veteran. And on top of that, he was trying to build a nonprofit organization there on his own property for veterans with PTSD, to where they could get away from the hustle and bustle of city life and come out and unwind and just be, just enjoy the nature of it and enjoy life for a while. And he was doing this for them for free. We were going to build cabins, everything. It was just a beautiful idea. And he had already put the wheels in motion, but they had to stop him from doing this. They had to stop him from combating the wildfires that are common. I mean, look at last year and the years before. Look at what, and 90% of those fires, I'm here to tell you, were started by the BLM. By the BLM. The fires in Burns, the fires in Harney counties, the fires in Montana, the fires in California. Okay, this is a war that we're fighting, and they're destroying us from the inside out. That's my opinion. There's a lot of facts involved. There's a lot of not a lot on mainstream media, but anymore we know that we can't go to the mainstream media for the facts. But what's happening in Montana, Oregon, Washington, California, all over the United States. And the only reason I say those is because those are the states that, after the Malheur, I decided this is what I need to do, because I love my neighbor, and my neighbor's being attacked by the federal government. And if you get on YouTube, if you get on Facebook, if you get on any of them, and hold on, it looks like they're trying to break me up. Okay. I froze there for a while, but I'm going to continue this. I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. Okay, I think we're back. Anyway, so what happened from there? After Joe Robertson was filed away in prison, we went, a brother of mine and I went from there to John Lamb's property. And the EPA was after John Lamb, of course, because of his affiliation with the Patriots and what he does for our community, or for America, period. They were attacking him because of his property and so on and so forth. So we went there to stand with John, and the EPA did show up, and we did send them away. And so after that, we went to Portland to the trials with Ammon, Ryan, and everybody involved. And we were there for the 44 days and beyond, actually. But then, we got to witness a miracle. We got to watch God's hand, and that's pretty much the only way we can say it. I do know that what we do here as a community, what we do out here as a community, does affect what's happening in the courtrooms. It does. I've been in many courtrooms. I've been to a lot of these federal courtrooms, and all I got to say is, wow. And people don't really understand what it is that these individuals are doing in these courtrooms, because people don't go to the courtrooms. They don't see what's going on. And so from there, I went to Portland. And then I went home to visit my mom and my little brother for a while. And then I went to Sergeant Moe's house to help her with the sale of her house and painting and so on and so forth. And during that time, I came here to Pahrump 3 times. And then the rest is history. And then, but I want to get a little bit more into what's going on in the courtroom right now here in Las Vegas. So I've been out with a wonderful group of people, and we've been, and it's been the same people consistently out in front of and we've been in the courtroom, we've been out front, we've got our banners, we've been protesting, we've been bringing light to as much as we possibly can. And I want to bring up everybody's live feeds so that if anybody has any questions, if anybody has or wants to know more, wants to know what's going on, of course you can see my live feeds. But there's also John Lamb, his live feeds. There's Andrea Parker, her live feeds. There's Maureen Peltier's, Sergeant Mo. There's multiple people that are getting the word out, that are voicing what's going on in our courtrooms. And, the tyranny and the corruption is coming out. I mean, even more now in the past week than in the 2 years that I've been diligently involved, and I've made it, it's pretty much my life at this point. But I want to dive a little bit more into the atrocities that are happening right now, and the atrocities that are happening to good people. Of course, the Bundys have been fighting this for over 20 years. And all the lies that the mainstream media have been spinning are coming out. And all the, the actions of the BLM, the actions of the EPA, the actions, because they're all working together in this situation. Because if anybody remembers, the desert tortoise was one of the issues that they brought up with the Bundys. So, the EPA came and said, well, the turtles and the cattle can't live together, so we're going to have to separate them so that the turtles can thrive, and so on and so forth, which is an out and out lie. And we've all seen that happen multiple times through the past 30 years, 40 years. We had the spotted owl, we had these lizards, we had the desert tortoise. So what's happening is they're trying every avenue they can to destroy rural America, and they're trying to push us into the cities. And so when reality sets in that they can't just do this because there are individuals out there that are willing to stand and say no, then they use force, or they destroy, they set fires, they, whatever they possibly can. Or they fine and fee you to death to the point to where you have no choice. And the end of it is always force. The end result, if it doesn't ever work for them, is force. Look at how many guns were pointed at the protesters and the people that were there to support the Bundys. But then the mainstream media spins, well, it was the other way around. Those protesters had guns on the BLM. Which is BS. We all know it's BS. And it's coming out. They had snipers on the hills. And then Ryan brought it out in his opening statement. How could they be criminals when they are the ones that called the sheriff? And when they were out there, how can any of this stuff that they're being accused of be true when they had initiated the contact with the sheriff, the undersheriff, which is now the sheriff, and Las Vegas Metro Police Department? It's ridiculous. And so now they've been sitting in prison for 2 years, and it's completely and totally gut wrenching. It really is. And so getting into what's going on right now in the courts. For the past week or so, they've been having secret meetings. Okay. These are supposed to be our courtrooms, correct? Our courtrooms. The media is not allowed in. The public's not allowed in. These are secret meetings. So what is it that the federal government is up to? What are they doing that they need secrecy? This is what your hard-earned tax dollars are paying for. And while we're talking about that, the Malheur the prosecution for Mal here spent over $100 million prosecuting innocent men. And now they're here and spending just as much to prosecute the same innocent men. So, and now remember, the mainstream media wants everybody to believe that Cliven owns $1 million plus for his unpaid grazing fees, which is now coming out that that's completely and totally farce. It's it comes down to he owed a little over $8,000, and the rest of it is all administrative fees and you know, just things that the federal government has tacked on to make the public believe that this welfare rancher, or whatever the heck they want to call him, is just that. He's broke the law. So I want everybody to understand what it is that we're doing out here. And, you know, I was going to get on here and say, you know, that yes, my fiance are great. We love each other. You know, and like everybody's doing, I'm perfectly healthy and happy. I'm not going to commit suicide. I'm not going to get, you know, none of this stuff. But I think everybody's done that enough to know, everybody knows that the federal government is capable of doing what they're doing. They're doing it. And it's also been brought out that, the BLM and the law enforcement people there at the ranch, there was a kill list. And this is coming out. The whistleblowers, and it's unbelievable what's coming out. And, we need to stop these private, sealed hearings in the federal court system. It has to stop. They need to be held accountable for their actions. What people don't really understand is that with these sealed court decisions, they can do whatever they want to whomever they want. Just think for a second. If you own, you know, a couple of 100 acres out in the middle of nowhere that they want, what's to stop them from doing anything to either imprison you, kill you, remove you from the property, fine you to the point to where you have to sell? Look at the Hammonds. And all these things have been happening for 20 plus years to individuals. Cliven Bundy is the last rancher standing out of 53 ranchers here in Nevada. He is the last rancher standing. So we need this information, we need this information to be worldwide. The federal government needs to be held accountable. And it's not just one little organization or anything else. It's the entire federal government needs to be drained. The swamp needs to be drained. And, you know, I have a lot of hopes with President Trump that Trump's going to actually step in and do the right thing here. Because the right thing needs to happen. Everybody should have a body cam. And you know, now that we have Facebook Live and we have YouTube and everything like that, it's harder and harder for the government to hide these issues, to hide what they're doing, because it's going to come out. But we as the people have to have enough faith in each other, in we the people, to stand up and say no more. We have to, because it's been so long that the government's been able to stifle, they've been able to hide, they've been able to have secret meetings in our buildings. Because I've noticed throughout all of the court proceedings that I've been to, I've been to Joe Robertson's, I've been to Skylar Barbeau's, I've been to Jerry DeLumis's, I've been to the Portland proceedings. I've seen Dwayne Emers. I've seen I've been to the courtrooms. And the reason I know what I know, and I know that this stuff needs to stop, is because I've seen it firsthand. And I've always said on all my videos, always said, if you have a couple hours to spare and you care about what's happening to your neighbors and you care about what is happening in our nation, you need to go down to your local courthouse. Go down there, sit in. It is a public area. It's public. Go and sit down and listen and watch at what is happening in our court systems. And I guarantee you, and because I know the first one I went and sat in on, I was floored. Jaw hit the floor. I didn't understand how it is that these people are getting away with what they're getting away with. It's unbelievable. And this whole trial here, the jury's been polled. The reason we have a jury is to get the facts and for them to come to a conclusion and to find innocence or guilt. That is what a jury's purpose is. But here, Judge Gloria Navarro has made the decisions. Well, the jury doesn't need to hear that, so we're going to pull the jury. And she's been trying to hide the facts and the truth. Any aggression by the federal government, they pull the jury. And anything that comes up, now that, and I hate to say it, but now that Ryan Bundy is defending himself, which he's doing an amazing job, he's blowing these individuals, all the other bar certified lawyers, which are still doing a good job, but it just blows my mind that this man came from out in the Nevada desert, came in, and with his knowledge of the Constitution and with his knowledge and with the Lord behind him and the Lord beside him, is just killing it, no pun intended, just blowing these individuals out of water. And if you haven't read his opening statement yet, I think John Lamb has it on his page. I'll go through and try to find it, but it is available on Facebook, and it's awe-inspiring. And I'm telling you, this whole family, the Bundys and the people that went out there to support them need our support. And they are amazing individuals, and they're selfless. They're doing this for the right reasons. And the mainstream media is going to try to spin whatever it is that they're going to try to spin. So, we need to make sure that this information is getting out. And we need to make sure that the people are standing. I'm standing. Because I care about what happens to my children. And I care about what happens to my grandchildren. That's all I'm in this for. And I'm in this so that my neighbor isn't getting murdered. My neighbor isn't getting thrown out of their homes and thrown out on the street. Because the government just wants what they have. It's not okay. And so that's why I'm in this. And I'm gonna continue to be in this. And I appreciate all the people that have supported me. It's not just me in this, and it's not just John Lamb. It's not just the people that are in front of the camera. It's the people that support us from behind the scenes. And we couldn't do this without them. So all the donations and all the support and all the shares and all the prayers are a big part of what we do out here. And we really do appreciate it, because we know that we're doing the right thing. And with the right thing comes the satisfaction of getting something done. And it's amazing to see what all of us are accomplishing. And it's amazing to know Ammon and Ryan. I haven't got the chance to sit down and talk to Cliven, because Cliven has refused pretrial release. He's an elderly man that is stronger than most of the men that I've met. And he's sticking to his guns, so to speak, no pun intended. Probably should have used a different phrase. But he is standing on his principles and morals. And that's what the rest of us have to do. He refuses to walk out of that jail until he's a free man, and all of his supporters, his sons, and everybody are free men. After 2 years of being locked in a box and treated like animals, abused mentally, emotionally, physically, everything. And he said, no, I am going to stand, and I'm going to stay until my people, my sons, and myself walk out of here free men. How many other people on this planet would be able to do that nowadays? Not many. You got to think about what you're doing. What are you doing to improve America? Why aren't you on the phone? Why aren't you on Facebook? Why aren't you sharing all these individuals with the nation? We need everybody to know this information. We need everybody to share this information. Because things are happening, people. Things are happening. These individuals, these evil individuals, are all of a sudden growing a conscience and coming forward with the evil that is intertwined in our federal court system and our federal systems, period. And we need this, because the way it's going, it's going to the, it's not going well. Let's just put it that way. So, I'm going to remain in this. And I'm going to bring, well, let's see where he went. There's somebody that's been wanting to get on here. He's let's see how, I don't know how to do this. Okay, hey Johnny, bring me on. He's been 2 or 3, so. But anybody that wants to,
oh, brother, can you hear me?
Wants to ask questions or get on, man. Hi, Johnny, how's it going, man?
Yeah, I just want to.
How you doing?
Hold on.
I love how these things move. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
You're good.
Am I being heard now? Hey, this is the first time, I know we're friends on Facebook. Heard. This is the first time I've ever watched one of your videos, and I'm highly impressed. I'm highly encouraged. You bring encouragement to me and greater resolve, and I hope that holds true to the other people watching. As some of your comments. I'm sorry. I'm on my way to Atlanta. I apologize. Sorry.
No
I'm on my way to Atlanta. I'm on my way to Atlanta to meet with some other patriots. So, from Augusta. But no, hopefully the other people that are watching this video will be encouraged, Jamey. And, you know, this is a travesty. You are exactly right. No one can dispute what you have said with the court system. I and many others. And, you know, we got to remember what we allow is what will continue. We've gotten to this point because we've allowed it. We can blame our enemy, but the biggest enemy of the Patriot movement is the Patriot movement. Because we need to look in the mirror, and like you said, Jamey, what have we done? I mean, look, videos like yours are great. But here's the difference, Jamey, from people like you, me, Billy Sessions, James Del Brock, many other people, Ritzheimer, all these great patriots. We are not just doing videos. We're out there making a difference on the street. And when we do that, we make ourselves targets. And here's the thing that needs to be pointed out about Lavoy Finicum, if we go back to that tragedy, and that is he knew exactly the risks that he took when he took those actions, along with the Bundys, along with the Hammonds, and even yourself, Jamey. But you know what? I want to say, I think the word patriot is thrown around too loosely, because unless we're ready to do patriot crap, we're not patriots. Unless we're ready to, as in a case of Cliven Bundy, until his whole family's released, right? Are we truly ready to go down that road? Are we ready to be handcuffed? Are we ready to be possibly killed, lose our business, lose our livelihood, for the sake of freedom? And until we're ready to make these sacrifices, don't call yourself a patriot, Jamey. Can you hear me? There we go.
Yeah, I can hear you now. I missed the end of the...
I said until we're ready to make sacrifice, which may even, in a worst case scenario, cost us our life, we are not worthy to call ourselves patriots. And the Bundys and the Hammonds, Lavoy Finicum, they are the best modern day examples of what it means to be a patriot because of the sacrifices they took. How many of us would be willing to step out of our safe zone? I think the problem is, Jamey, there's too many people out there that call ourselves 3%ers, okay? And I am a proud 3%er.
Right.
That are we're afraid to get wet in the rain. We're afraid to get cold in the winter. We're afraid to sweat our butts off in the summertime. We're afraid to make sacrifices, time and money.
Yeah.
It might mean eating beans and rice for the rest of the month. You don't eat any steak because you got to support a patriot or get the gas money to go support somebody. Okay? Until we're ready to make sacrifices, Jamey, okay, don't call yourself a patriot. And I just wanted to throw that in there for you. God bless you, man. I'm encouraged every time I see people like you, and I'm running across many new patriots that I'm trying to catch up on that have been out there, and God bless you.
Well, I appreciate it, and you are right. You are 100% right. And I've been thinking, the other side of this, they call themselves patriots. To me, a patriot, it's such a loosely used word nowadays. It really is.
Well, you're exactly right.
So, we do what we do, and I don't need recognition for it. We just know it's the right thing to do, and we're going to continue.
And Jamey, let me encourage you. Look,
Hold on,
You okay? They're not trying to pull you over or get you. I didn't know if we need to send an extraction team for you, but anyway, James, brother, James Kawasaki. I want to give him. He's just there's a patriot in the room. He just joined the chat. I'm gonna brag on him for a second. James Kawasaki is a patriot that because of him, God him, and I am an ordained minister who kept me in the fight. He's been my crutch, my confidant, my prayer partner, and I'm there for anybody else that needs prayer or counseling too if they message me. But he is right. Paper patriots are fake triots. That's a name I coined. We can all use it. Let's call them fake triots. Or I got another one for you, Jamey. They're freedom phobes. Hey, they're freedom phobes. We're accused of being Islamophobes, xenophobes, homophobes. Well, you know what? It's time to start telling our enemies, like our commander-in-chief says, we cannot defeat an enemy unless we name the enemy, correct? So let's name the enemy.
Right.
They are freedom phobes. They suffer from a serious case of freedom phobia, and what they need is some Bible teaching, and they need a teaching on the Constitution and the Word of God. But I want to encourage people, all these evil people that abound in our nation, at the same time, we need to pray for them that they can come to know Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior. That's not to say that we won't take a stand.
Absolutely.
That's not to say that we won't take up arms to defend ourselves from attack, because we will defend, not attack. Okay, and that's not to say that our kindness and our meekness should be perceived as a sign of weakness. But at the same time, we need to pray for our enemies. This is what God's been dealing with me. Okay.
Yeah.
And people say, oh, that guy, he's so evil. F him, F them, screw him. Well, you know what? There's a season for everything. And again,
Yep.
we need to pray for them, because you know why they do what they do, Jamey? You know why the people did what they did to Bundys, to Hammonds, and Lavoie? Because they don't know Jesus Christ, okay? They don't.
Absolutely.
We need to come against the powers and principalities, because Washington said, Jamey, I'm not trying to preach you. I'll cut myself off.
Hey.
But Washington said, and you can look this up, apart from God and the Bible, one cannot rightly govern a nation. Apart from the God and the Bible, we will not have a successful movement. And where the Spirit of the Bible says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. So if we stand up for Christ, we will see liberty. And liberty doesn't just mean being free in Christ and free that you're going to heaven. That means liberty here on this earth. Here on this earth. Okay? So,
yeah.
If we seek his face, he'll add these things to us. He'll give us victories. That's not to say we're not going to be knocked down, but I trust you. If our movement starts doing what Washington did, which the first successful battle of the American Revolution was the crossing of the Delaware. But before he did that on Christmas Eve and attacked the German mercenaries, known as the Hussons, what did he do? I'll tell you what he did. He got down on a bended knee and prayed to the Lord for guidance and wisdom, okay, to defeat evil. To defeat evil, which King George was evil. His tyrannical policies were evil, okay? He prayed for victory after defeat after defeat after defeat. It was, so, and oddly enough, and I know Jesus was really born in the spring, but it's recognized in December, okay? Oddly enough, the day that the God's people choose to acknowledge the Son of God, okay, is when God gave America its greatest victory, which resulted in more victories that followed the crossing of the Delaware. That was a turning point in the American Revolution. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, none of this is possible without God. None of it. And a while back, it was the day that the trial started. The actual trial started. I took a picture because we live out in Henderson, and on the drive into the courtroom or the courthouse, there was a gray looming over the entire city of Las Vegas. Just and it just looked strange. There's a picture on my feed of it.
I'll go check it out.
But none of this is possible without God and without direction from God. I mean, each one of these rallies that we go to, I ask God for guidance, and I do pray for the other side. I have to, because I care about my neighbors, and guess what? These individuals are my neighbors. They're misguided.
Yes.
And but they're still human beings. They're still human beings, and they're still God's children.
Right.
And I pray every day that Judge Navarro
come to know Jesus.
Sees the way. Yeah. Yep. Every day we have to.
They do. Because they don't know God. That's why they do what they do.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And you go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I just the amount of blessings that I've received during this time and during this during my run, I basically said, okay, God, you tell me what I need to do. And that's what's been happening for the past 2 years. And he's put me where I need to be. He's given me hope. He's given me drive. And it's been wonderful.
Well, you're going to be in my prayers.
I had to give up everything.
You're in my prayers.
Yeah. Oh, I appreciate it. I really do.
And Jamey, I want to ask you, I want you to reach out because my messenger is not working correctly. So James Kawasaki
Okay.
or Glenn Dumont, who's on this, who's a patriot in Canada. I want everybody that knows my personal cell phone number to message this guy, Jamey Wood here. Give him my personal cell phone number, please.
Jamey Wood.
Oh, no, what is it? I mean, not Wood.
My name.
Not Wood.
My last name's Jamey Landin.
Landin. I'm thinking of someone else. I'm sorry. Look,
Yeah,
brother. I'm sorry. Jamey Landin. Why talk to so many people?
Yeah, no, I got you.
But I want people to message.
No, I feel the same way.
Hey, earlier in the conference, you talked. I want to recommend something for people like you and other patriots at Walmart. And I'm not trying to promote Walmart, okay? But this is to promote civil protection. There's a clip right here. It uses it's only $24.95. It does. I think you can get 4 to 7 hours of video on it. It's a small. Okay. It's a Vivitar, Vivatar cam. You can literally clip it to your shirt, chest, or ladies can clip it to their purse strap. Very inexpensive, far cheaper than a GoPro. Not the quality of a GoPro, but if money is tight, look, I recommend everyone like you, excuse me, I got my taser's going off in my belt. I got my taser, so let me take it off here. my Batman utility belt, but anyway, everybody
you don't want that going off driving down the road.
Well, no, look. Non-lethal. But anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Jamey. Hey, I'll show you something here. Hold on. You're going to love this. See this?
I don't see it. You're froze. Yeah, you're, oh. All right, there you are.
Hey, there we go. There's what I'm rolling with there, brother. See it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going right through Atlanta right now, fixing to hit Atlanta, but But what I just want to say is, please, everyone that's like you, and all the other patrons that attend these rallies, we all need to carry these body cams. If you can afford to get to a rally, I would say, look, man, I'll be honest with
you. Yeah, well, you're breaking up. I'll try to get your number if somebody can shoot it to me, or else you can just message me on Facebook or get off this. I got to go pick up my beautiful fiance here shortly. So I just wanted everybody to understand why it is that we do what we do and how important it is that we continue to do it. And yeah, God is a big part of what we do because we know it's the right thing and we know it's what we need to do. But I will come on again, and we don't have court supposedly until the 20th, which is Wednesday of next week. And again, there's multiple people out there doing their live feeds, and the information's out there. And if you can, share, and we all can pray. And all the prayers are great. They are working. And he is answering. And but just because he's answering doesn't mean that we need to back off on the prayers. We all need them. And any of the financial warriors out there, we do greatly appreciate you. And there's so many causes that you can donate to. There's a lot needed. So if you can, donate your prayers, donate money, donate your time, donate your shares, and get out there and do something. Get out there and be part of the solution, not the problem. God bless everybody, and I'll see you again soon. And thanks, Johnny, for your guest appearance and your message. And God bless everybody, and keep standing. And if you're not standing, get up off the couch and do the right thing.